after MI showed that he needs to be scoped, which obviously probably puts him into a red shirt role. Unfortunately, that's a position not very deep with us. So we were looking for him to be a backup linebacker and play on our special teams. So we'll continue to develop our other guys, and hopefully Marquise Simmons gets back at some point from his surgery. Hopefully we get Nick Perry here back pretty soon to give us some more depth at defensive end. Matt Khalil didn't do very much today because of his hamstring, and the other one that was Shreese Wright's hip bothered him again today, so he did very little.
Is that a 4 to 6 week thing with Pollard?
Probably at least. So that's why we say it'd probably be tough to get him back physically and mentally prepared, because it was already going to be tough, him being a true freshman.
When did he hurt that? Did he hurt that here? Or?
No, he hurt it here. It had been bothering him, but he played through it. Until I guess a couple practices ago or something. During special teams, it was just bothering him so much when he woke up that morning. So it was scoped, and he's a tough kid. He was playing through it up to that.
Having another injury like that, how frustrating is it considering how thin you guys are?
Yeah, it's frustrating. It's part of it, and so we can't change what happens. We can just continue to try to find ways to manage it. I think we've done as well as we can as far as limiting contact, as far as limiting two-a-days, but it's going to happen, and hopefully the majority of our guys get back by the time the games count. It's 8 days from now.
With him and Simmons out, who's moved up in that depth chart?
Yeah, we're very limited there. Ross Cummings plays for us, really as our fifth linebacker. Shane Horton plays on the other side. He actually came out for a little bit today with a knee, but he's supposed to be okay. And there's not a whole lot after that. Simi's over there in transition from going back from fullback a couple weeks ago, so we're very thin there.
Drew McAllister, saw him out here a little bit today.
Yeah, he's trying to move around. He did have the injection. He's feeling a little bit better. Hopefully Saturday, he'd be able to really start doing a lot more.
Taking a while the injuries, how did you like today's practice?
It wasn't very crisp. I told him that if this was a Thursday of a normal game, we wouldn't play very well on a Saturday probably. But it is our first Thursday really with them in a short week that we put a lot in, and so that's why we did it this way, so that we have a whole another week to come back and review everything.
Lane, how does Coach Lewis look being back?
Yeah, he's done well in there. We've really brought him back slow. The last thing we need to do is lose him. He's so valuable because he can play all 4 spots outside of the center spot. So hopefully he continues to do a little bit more, and by the time we get to Saturday, hopefully we have him in there a lot.
And Khalil?
Yeah, his hamstring bothered him today. It was really tight and hardly did anything.
What did you like about practice there? Was there anything that you kind of looked good, positive?
I don't know. I mean, I guess the fact that we didn't do very well on offense, I guess meant the defense was playing okay, especially in the 7-on-7. But it just really wasn't. We were hoping to really get this whole week nailed like a game week and get them in that mindset, and obviously we didn't succeed completely today because I don't think that they were really believing that there's a game tomorrow.
Any reason you could point to why it wasn't as crisp as you would like?
Because there isn't a game tomorrow. That's why. You can only, we do this and you try, and it is good because it gets them out of just the motions of going through practices and gets them used to, especially with a bunch of true freshmen that are going to play for us probably, gets them used to how we treat a game week.
With Mark Tyler coming on, what criteria are you going to use to determine your starting running backs?
We're going to go back and look at everything. The game tomorrow, we'll play out there, and then come back. We'll have a full day off Friday for the players. We don't have them, and so hopefully we'll have a great idea of the direction where we're going after that.
Have you talked to Allen at all, just about his situation? Having come in as the #1 guy and now seeming to be trailing.
Yeah, I never put him as the #1 guy, so maybe other people had him as the #1 guy. I said that all along the competition was open. I did talk to him 2 days ago, because the reps had started to shift a little bit that day, and so I wanted him to know that before he came out here, so there wasn't any surprises. Tell him what we were doing. The competition was still open, but we were going to give Mark some more reps, and I think think he responded really well. They have two decisions at that point. You know, they can pout and mope around, and you know, it's a really valuable lesson for those guys to learn from guys in the past where they've taken that, continue to fight through it, and end up, you know, helping their draft status, because that's a good test of them. Last year, we had a defensive tackle named Dan Williams. We benched him and put a guy in front of him before the season ever started. He really responded to it extremely well. Fought to earn his spot back and ended up starting and went to Arizona in the first round. So it's a good lesson for these guys to see how they respond to it.
How do you think he's responded in the short term?
Really well. Yeah, he ran the ball well yesterday. It's easy to tell with running backs. I think you guys would have noticed real quickly if he was out here pouting, you know, because you'd see that he wasn't finishing runs or moping around. So it's good to see.
Did you ideally want to go with two guys when you were here and you guys had your most success? You guys just went with two. Is that your hope, to kind of pick the top two guys and just hit them, or are you okay doing the whole tailback by committee thing again?
No, there's not an exact formula. I mean, it could be one guy. You know, last year in Tennessee, Hardesty ended up leading the SEC in carries, and Bryce Brown was second on our team, but there was a big difference. It wasn't shared. Ideally, in a perfect situation, you'd like it to be somewhat shared because they stay fresher throughout the course of the season. But we're going to play the best guy, and we're going to play the best guys. It's going to depend on, can a guy play? How long can a guy play? Is he taking care of the ball? And then also, do guys do different things? You know, those guys were kind of similar for us last year. So bringing Bryce in and putting Hardesty on the bench didn't gain us a bunch. They were very similar style backs and weight. So the system you referred to before with Reggie Lindell, they were so different that you were going to play both no matter what, because you needed them in different roles. All right, thanks.